Okay, so here is like a getting started on how you can use Alight Motion. All right, so for the purpose of getting acquainted, so this is the interface of the Alight Motion, and this is where you start everything you want to do. Okay, so this is where you add whatever it is that you want to add. Okay, so let's say you want to add an image or a video, so you come here and then you add media. Okay, so you go check where your media is, whatever image, picture, video that you want to use. Okay, you can actually click on this place, and then it will bring you to your these are the places you can pick your video and whatever it is that you want to use. Okay, so let's say for instance I want to pick a video, or no, I'll pick an image so the app doesn't lag. Okay, so I'll just pick any image actually. So I'll okay, let me pick from somewhere else. Yeah, so let's say I want to pick this image for a start. Okay, so you can see the image is not filling the screen. So if you want to adjust that, all you need to do is click on the image, come here, and then fill composition area, so it will just fill it like that. So period. So this is how you add whatever it is you want to add. If it's a video or an image, the procedure is the same. Okay, very simple. Now the next thing you want to learn is how to add effects to this. Okay, so this once you click on this, some options will pop up. Okay, now this option is for color. Anything you want to color, you want to add fill color to anything, this is where you come. All right, okay, but this is an image, so you are not adding any color to it, because if you add a color to it, that is going to happen. Okay, so that's not what we want. Say for instance you want to add color to anything now, so you click on add circle. So you see the app automatically adds a color to any shape you pick. But if you want to change that color, you can just come here. This is where you change your color. So you go there, and then you can just change the color to whatever you want. Okay, so this is, you can pick color. If you want to pick color from your image, you can come here, and then you can just go ahead and pick the color of his shirt. If that is what you want, you can see this place is showing you the color that you have picked. Okay, so you can just go ahead and pick any color that you want. Okay, so you can adjust color from here. You can also adjust your colors from here. So basically that's how you pick color. Okay, so that's what that is for. I think this is clear now. All right, so I'm just going to dim the opacity of this for a bit. Okay, so I'm going to show you where that is now. This is where you are going to dim. You want to dim your opacity, so you can just dim that a little bit so you can see whatever it is that I am doing. Nice. Now I want to add some movement to my image at the background. So what I'll do is I'll come to move and transform. So this is where you add a movement. Okay, so you want to move left, right. This one here makes that happen for you. Okay, so that's how you move left and right. Okay, you want to rotate. This is where you come. You can rotate like that. Okay, you want to blow it up or reduce it. You want to zoom it in or out. This is where you come. Okay, so that is that. And then you want to skew. You want to bend it left, you want to bend it right. This is where you come. You want to bend left, you want to bend right. Okay, whatever kind of bending you want to apply, that is where you go. All right, okay, so now that we know how all this works, now the most important tool in this app is this thing here, this diamond. That's the most important tool, because that's what you use to add animations to whatever you want to add animation to. So say for instance I want to add and zoom in animation to this image. What I'll do is I'll first add a keyframe. So you see something has been added here. You see that thing there has been added, meaning the animation is going to start here, and then I'll come to the end, and then I'll add, sorry, that's not, you see, I'm adding the keyframe on move, and I'm not trying to move. All right, so what I'll do is I'll come to transform. All right, so that's where I want to add the animation. So you add a keyframe there, and then you drag here, and then you don't need to add a keyframe. If you want to, you can add. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So you see, I've added a keyframe, but nothing is going to happen because I have not done anything yet. Okay, so what is going to happen now is I'm going to now start to stretch it up, and then you can see that we've added an animation. You can see the image is now moving. Okay, so this is basically how you add animation to stuff with this brother here. He's the most important tool there because that's what brings the animation in. So if you click on this circle now, I want to move this circle from left to right. What I'll do is I'll go to move and transform. Now you can see it's already on move. So I'll add a keyframe to move, and then I want it to move in 1 second from that place where it is to this other side. You see, as I drag it, a keyframe was added automatically. Okay, so that's just as it works in KineMaster, it's exactly the same way it works in Alight Motion. So you can see it moves, but you can see the movement is just straight like that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you can variate the movements, how you can make the movement a little bit interesting. So you see this graph here, that's what the graph is for. So you click on this graph, you see we have different types of graph here, and these different types of graphs they generate different types of movements. Okay, so say for instance I want it to give me a different kind of movement. I'll click on this, and then you see that the movement is different now. Voop, you see, so you see the difference is at this point it's moving straight, then at this point. But make sure whenever you want to add a graph editing, your playhead, this white line must be in between the 2 keyframes. It has to be in between the 2 keyframes that you have created. So that's how you can add. All right, so if I drag this and drag this now, you see the movement is different now. Boop, you see now. So that's what all these graphs are for. This one is ease in, you see. I'm sorry, ease out. It comes in faster and it ends slower. This one is it comes in slower and ends faster. You see, so that's basically what all these guys are for. These ones are different. Okay, so depends on what exactly you are looking for. All right, so that's, you can just experiment with all the graphs, and then you see how the bounce that brings in. You see, so that's what this is for. This one is like moving to an like a pendulum, right? And then we have this one that we just, so basically that's how you add graphs to your animation. All right, so that's what this is for. Okay, what else? So if you click on your circle now, this is where you can edit the shape, you can edit the size, the length, the breadth, depending on the shape you are using. Okay, so if you are using a square, the option for editing the shape will be different. All right, so and then the next thing you want to understand for this beginning of the video is maybe you want to add a text. All right, so I'm just going to switch this one off. You see that icon, just touch it and then it will switch off. If you want to switch this off, all right, so that's basically that. So you want to add a text, you come to add, you see text, you can add a text from here. So all you need to do is type in your text. So I'll type in graphics. All right, so I can stretch this, all right, depending on the size of the text. And then this is where you centralize. You can align to the right, align to the left, and then you can centralize. This is where you change the color of your text. All right, this is where you change your font. Okay, so I'll just pick that, and this is where you change the size. Okay, so you can see now that the size is big, the text breaks up. So how to fix that is just to stretch this, and then everything will be the way it is supposed to be. All right, so that's basically it. Okay, so you can centralize, you can come to move and transform, and then use this to adjust it to the center. So you can see this is showing you that it is at the center now. All right, simple. So adding effects to your text is the same thing that I have showed you. So you click on the text, you come here, and then you can add your in animation, you can add your out animation as you want it. So if you want the text to move from the left to the right to the center there, you come to this point, say 1 second. No, 1 second is too long, so let's say 15 frames. Okay, 15 frames. So I'll add a keyframe to 15 frames, telling the app that at 15 frames I want the text to be here. This is where I want the text to be at 15 frames. And then at the beginning, I don't want it to be there. I want it to be outside. So you just drag this outside. And then you see that red line is telling you it is aligned. It is straight. All right. So if we give it a play now, you see. So now I want it to be interesting. So I'll put my playhead at the center, and then I'll add a graph. So I'll add ease out graph, so it comes in fast and ends slow, like that, period. And then if I want it to bounce, if I want it to have some kind of overshoot, what I'll do is I'll come to the graph, and then you see here, I'll click on that, and then I'll click on enable overshoot, and then you see this one that controls the end. This one is one that controls the end, how it ends. So I'll just drag it up a little bit, and then you see what we have now. You see how it moves a little bit further and then relax back. You see? So if you want it to be obvious, you can drag it more. Okay? So it will give you boom, like that. You see? So that's how you use that graph to so you can do this for left, right, up, down. You can zoom in, zoom out. All right? What I'm trying to say is you can use that as, say for instance, let's remove this. So I'll remove this, okay, and then I'll remove this too. Remove. So I can, at 15 frames, I'll come to this place, add that, and then at the beginning I'll just blow it up like this, and then it will give you this. Okay, so you have that, or you can reduce it. So you can reduce it like that, and then at this point, if you still want it to bounce like that, it's the same thing. You just give it that, and then you see. Or you can decide you want to use a different kind of bouncing for it. So you come to this one, and then you click on this guy, and then you adjust your bouncing like that, and then it gives it, you see that. Or you can just stretch the keyframe so the bouncing is obvious. So you see, so basically this is how you why Alight Motion is very powerful is because it is flexible. You can adjust whatever it is that you want to adjust. You can fix if something is not good. Unlike KineMaster, you can only use what you have been given, but in Alight Motion you can tweak it, you can adjust it to suit your purpose. You understand? So basically that's all you need to know for a start about adding this, adding that. You can add images, you can add whatever it is that you want to add, and to make your work look nice. Right? What else can you add? You can add a diagram. You can draw with your hand. Okay, you can draw with your hand like that. Okay, so and then you see how this is nice now. So you come here, you go to effects, add effect, and then you come to drawing, and then you add flow from start to end, and then you see what we have just done now. You see the beauty of what we have just done now. Let me drag this here, and then you see now. You see, but it's very slow because the layer is very long. Okay, so if the layer is a short one, say for instance, let me show you what I'm saying now. Delete. So say for instance the layer is So say I draw something like this, okay, and then I want the layer to be this short, maybe say 1 second 15 frame, and then I'll cut it from here. Okay, so I'll come here, add effect, add, and then this is the last effect I use, so it's the same thing. It's going to give me the same thing. So what you need to see, you see now, you see, you can see what we've just done now. So you see how it has beautified your, like that. So you can see you can do as many as you want to make your work very nice. All right, so that comes in and just goes like that. So basically, Alight Motion is simple. You just need to understand how to use whatever it is that you want to use. What you need to know is this is where you add effect. All right, so once you click on the layer, you come to effect, add effects. So these are all the effects we have. You can't learn how to use the effects at the same time. All right, you have to learn them one after the other, like this move and transform now. All right, say you add this. You see there are some options that are already there. Okay, so let's say I choose Ghost Pop. Okay, so this is going to, you see that's thing that you see. So that makes it a bit more interesting. Okay, so nice. All right, so you just have to be testing, test and test. Don't wait until everything is being told to you. Everything you see there, you have the undo button. If you do something you don't like, you can just undo here. All right, like what I just added now, if I don't want it, I'll just undo it. You see it's gone. And then if I made a mistake, I want it back, I can bring it back and it's there. Okay, so just test things here and there, right? But the major thing you need to know is what I've shown you. The color, this is where you add shadow or stroke. Okay, now say for instance I want to add, let's say I want to add a background to my, or I can just do this. Okay, so I want to add a shadow to my text, so I'll click on my text, border and shadow. If you want to add border to it, you enable it, you arm your stroke. You want to add a stroke to it, and then you come to color, then you can change the color like so. So you see you have that color right there. All right, you can increase it as you want. All right, so that's basically that. Very simple. And then the next one is your shadow. Okay, so this is the shadow, and then you arm it, you on it, and then you can add your shadow as you please, and then you can see the shadow right there. All right, if you change the color, it will be very, very obvious that you've added a shadow. You see, so you add that. So basically that's just how these things work. All right, this one moves the shadow to the left or to the right. All right, and while this one, the Y moves it up or down. Okay, so period, that's it. All right, if you want it, you leave it on. If you don't want it, you switch it off. Okay, that's it. Very simple. All right, every other thing is opacity is, and then the blend option, how to blend things. Now if you want to blend your layer, you want to blend layers with each other, depending on if it's because this one is a text I'm using. If it's a picture, you would have seen how they blend with each other. All right, say for instance I want to pick an image. Now let me go pick an image. So let me pick this image now, and then I'll come to the blending. So you see how it blends. You see now, you see how it blends, and then we have different types of blending option. Okay, you see how it looks like the text is on top of the layer, while the layer is behind, is on top. You can see the layer here, the layer is on top, but the blending now is making it look like the layer is behind your text. So that's how it works. If you bring the text to the top now, you see that's the text at the top. If you bring the text behind now, you see that. So blending option just works with bright and dark colors. All right, experiment with all these things. They are very simple. Experiment with them, and then you'll see how they all work. Okay, so that's that about that. I think these are the basics. Okay, these are the basics. You want to draw a line, you come to add drawing. It's not about drawing a line alone. You can see this crosshair. So you click, once you drag it to where you want it to be, then you click, and then you create a node like that. Then you come to where you want the line to end. Just watch your red line. Once the red line is showing, it's telling you it's straight, and then you add another one. So you have something like that there. Okay, so now we don't want a fill color to read, so I'll remove the fill color. This is how you off your fill color. And then you come to stroke. We want to add only a stroke to it, so I'll change the color to say white or yellow, so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'll stretch it like that. Now if you check the edges, you will discover that the edge is round. So that is if you want the edges to be round. If you don't want the edges to be round, you can see this is where the edges is round. You can just click on this, or you can click on that. Okay, so and then you click on these two, and then you have a square edge. You can use your move to adjust it to where you want it to be, and then you can use your, if you want to add an animation to it, all you need to do is come to click this layer, click on effect, add effect, and then you can come to draw, and then you can add any preset that you want. You can draw gradually or erase gradually. Erase gradually is if you want to end out animation. All right, so you can draw then erase. It will draw and then it will erase itself, and then you can do flow from start to end, but I want to use draw gradually. All right, so you see it has added the animation by itself, so it will just draw gradually, you see, and then you have that. So this is how powerful Alight Motion is. Alight Motion is very powerful if you actually know exactly what it is that you are doing. All right, you can use Alight Motion to duplicate stuff. All right, say I create this one and then I make it white. Let me drag it here so you can see what I am doing, and then I'll reduce the size like so. Good, and then I'll rotate it a little bit, let's say 45 degrees. So I'll rotate it 45 degrees. All right, so let me drag it here to the beginning so we can see what exactly we are doing. Let me off the, so I'll bring this to the center now. Nice. Now if you click on it and then go to effect, add effect, and then go to repeat, you see this repeat here, and then you click on grid repeat standard setting. You see what we have now? Just from creating one, we have all that, and then you can increase the count. You see now? All right, so it's and then you can scale it or not. All right, so the scaling is creating some kind of offset. You can see it's creating some kind of offset to it. All right, so basically that's how you go about creating some repeating. Okay, so that's that about that. So if you come to this guy and then you see, so you can use this as an accent. You can use it as an accent in your design. All right, so depending on what inspiration you are using. Okay, so basically that's just how these things work. Okay, it's not rocket science. They are very simple stuff. Just depends on how you allow your imaginations to guide you. Okay, so try all the effects, try all the elements you can add, Now you weave. You can add elements that you have saved for yourself. These elements, these are the ones I have saved for myself, right? Say for instance, I want to add this one. This is a title that I made. Okay, so it's a title that I made for myself. So I saved it, and I can use it in the future. I saved this so I could use it in the future. So you see, I have something like that. Okay, so you see, this is how simple Alight Motion is. All right, so how do you make this kind of elements for yourself? Say for instance, this line that we created. Okay, this line that we created, if you want to save it as your element, you can just click on it, come to this place here, and click on save to my elements. All right, so it's already saved as your element. I'll just go ahead and delete it now. So say you want to use it in another project, all you need to do is come to add elements, and you can see it here. So it's already added. By the time you give it a play, it's back. All right, so this is how you save. You can even change the color if you want to. Say you want to change the color, you can go ahead and give it a different color entirely. All right, it's all up to you. So you see, I've given it a black color. You can give it a white color if you want. All right, so it's totally up to you what you want to do with it. So this is basically how you operate with Alight Motion. So now you know how to use your text. You know how to use the text. You know how to use a shape. All right, so this is just getting started. Maybe later I'll show you how you can use your shapes to manipulate stuff. Like you want to create say a mask. So you want to create a mask. Let me just do that using this circle. So I'll just say at this point, let the circle be say at 2 seconds I'll do that, and then at this point I'll just no I want to use the transform, so add a keyframe there, and then at this point we want it to be like so. Good. And then at this point, what's going on? I want it to be this at this point. Nice. So at this point, I want it to be like that. So all I'll need to do is just I'll disable overshoot, so it give me my regular graph. So I'll just do that. So you see, we have something like this. Okay, so let me show you how to mask now and use your shape to do amazing things. So say I want to use this as an intro. I want to use it as an in animation to show me that. So you see now, but you notice that the circle itself is showing. So if I don't want the circle itself to show, what I'll do is I'll just group. I'll group everything. You see, I'll select this, I'll select that, everything that is on I'll select, everything that is on I will select, and and then what I will do now is I'll make sure that the circle is at the top. Make sure the circle is at the top if you want to use it as a mask. And then what you need to do now is, this is mask in. So if you select this, it will be showing you anything that is inside the circle. If you select this, it will be showing you everything that is outside the circle. So what I want is, I want it to show me everything that is outside the circle. So you see that everything is black. But as we move forward, you see now, you see what just happened there. You see, so that's what masking does. All right, so I can use shape as in animation. All right, so this is how simple these things are. These things are very simple. All you need to do is just pay attention, and get to know how to go about them. Okay, so that's it. All right, if you want to undo it, you can undo it. If you do the same thing for the other one, masking, nothing will show because the circle is shrinking. So as the circle shrinks, it will shrink with everything that is inside the circle, so you won't see anything. And then if you want to group layers together, you want to group it, so you say you have 2 layers, I want to group them together. It's very simple to do. Say I want to group this one and this line together. Okay, all right. What you need to do is, or say I want to group this one and that line, that stroke that is drawing together. All I need to do is click on the 2. You see, you click and hold until that green shows, and then you can add any other one you want to group. And all you need to click on is this one here. So you click on that, and you have a mask. So that's your mask right there. So you see, you can move them together. If you click on this now, if you click on this now, you see that you can move both the line and this together. So because you have grouped them together, KineMaster does not have this. KineMaster does not group. All right, so basically that's how you operate everything on Alight Motion. Very simple. All you need to do is try as much as you can to practice. Ensure that you are practicing. The more you practice, the more you get to understand all these things. They are very, very simple. All right. So in the next tutorial, I'll show you how to, I'll take it a little bit further for you to understand how to go about all these things. All right. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.